For this video, we'll be covering sheet number 555 GT in Cfam. As this sheet first comes up, it'll be blank because no schools are chosen, but we can pick any school and click apply, and we can see the GT expenses versus target. Arkansas state law requires percentage of your foundation funding to be spent towards GT based on your third quarter ADM. We'll look at those details in just a moment, but at a quick glance, we're seeing 5 fiscal years worth of Atkins GT expenditures. The target line that shows how much they were supposed to have spent on GT, at a minimum, of course. You can always spend more. The tooltip also shows how we're figuring this. So GT expenses are defined in the manual as functions 1910 or 2291, and they use program code 270. You can also see how that target is figured. It's 15% of your per student foundation funding times 5% of that previous year, third quarter average ADM. So this is a really neat thing that Cfam can really help with, right? Everyone has this same target kind of formula you're trying to meet. No real reason for everyone to figure this individually whenever it can be figured for you. So that's kind of what these sheets are doing. And then with the target line, you can see throughout the year if you're making it or not making it. And from what we see in most places, schools either kind of barely make it due to good planning or due to their size, they're sometimes doubling it. It's kind of the nature of GT expenditures by the time you have a coordinator and a teacher and do the things that you need to do. Below here, we're seeing the expenditures that make up these bars. So if we took out fiscal years and went to just current fiscal year, we could see the expenditures that as of the last warehouse data pull, Atkins, were adding up towards this target. At the bottom, the red line is the budgeted amount as opposed to the GT target amount. So you can kind of see how salaries and those kinds of things are going to come and play throughout the year. We're not necessarily going to hit those right away, but you can see what pieces are making that up as of now. Commissioner's memo last year, Financial 22045, kind of outlines the Arkansas annotated code that requires this, outlines where we got that 15% of the foundation funding, 5% of prior year funding amounts, and then there's the spreadsheet that comes out every year that gives you what your targeted amount should be. That's more of the authoritative answer on these, but we're figuring that with the same formulas that they are. If you look in the manual, function code 1910 is gifted and talented, 2291 is a gifted and talented coordinator, so those salaries for those coordinator positions, those are the ones that are making up those expenditures that are coming in to the view here. As with anything else in Cfam, you could pick another school if you wanted to view comparisons, maybe see how your neighbors are doing this, get some of those multiple years back to see trends over time. Then of course you still get the breakdowns by district, how that was spent, how they're getting it to campus level as needed, those amounts were versus the budgeted amounts. This is sheet 555 GT. Hopefully something that could save you some time in figuring, give you something you could plan with throughout the year instead of waiting until June when that commissioner's memo comes out and lets you know that you potentially short fell something that you could have fixed throughout the year.